You guys don't need to worry about me getting revenge from Diddy. I've got 3 moves that make sure he'll never be able to come after me or my family. First, I personally reached out to the victims' legal teams. The real reason he's not getting out is those buried cases behind the scenes. I provided legal funding for 7 victims who had been silent for years and brought in the top criminal attorneys in the country. Second, I bought up every potential post-release business deal he had lined up. I planned this 2 years in advance, so by the time he got sentenced and still had hope of getting out, every partner had already cut ties with him. Third, I don't just have evidence, I've got backups. This is an entire minefield that's been buried for 20 years. I uncovered every secret from the last 30 years. With testimonies from the victims, we interviewed over a dozen people he tricked, threatened, or violated. You think that's harsh? No, he destroyed other people's lives for decades. I'm just making sure he spends a few extra years in prison for it. I'm not afraid of his people, not afraid of his threats. I know he's still in there fantasizing about a comeback, but the truth is, he's never come.
I go on my Twitter and I see people saying, you look like you have AIDS, you should go die. I don't understand how I dedicated 22 years of my life to my fans, and now they turn on me.
Do you regret ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old, because when I did MTV Cribs, the day that I had to go show off that house, my mom and my dad told me, we're getting a divorce. You still have to go do this. I had to go show off all the stuff my whole life that was going to be taken away from me.
The FBI is finally looking into the alleged murder of Aaron Carter. The details of Aaron Carter's murder have creepy similarities with the death of Diddy's ex-wife, Kim Porter.
Aaron Carter begged for her in front of the world. He begged for financial support to help get him a private security team to keep him alive. He said on numerous occasions, if anything happens to me, I promise you, I am not titled. And no one said anything.
When 50 Cent releases a documentary that brings long-hidden issues into the spotlight, the conversation quickly shifts from speculation to accountability, raising difficult questions about why certain truths were delayed and who benefited from that silence. By tracing Aaron Carter's rise and eventual struggles, while also examining the unchecked influence surrounding figures like Diddy, the film moves beyond simply revisiting the past. It challenges viewers to think about responsibility, not just in terms of what was known, but who chose to ignore it. With familiar names such as Justin Bieber appearing along overlapping timelines, the documentary hints at a broader pattern within the industry, where power remained protected and some voices went unheard for years. Rather than focusing on isolated incidents, it points to a system that often prioritized reputation over reality, leaving audiences to question why, if the signs were always there, it took so long for anyone to connect the dots and demand the truth. When 50 Cent frames his documentary around what was deliberately kept out of sight, his not simply echo
and civil law.
What? Wow. Talking about a transition.
Ever since he got indicted, and the storm doesn't seem to be letting up anytime soon. Recently, another wave of accusations has just been leveled at him, this time a staggering 25 lawsuits alleging inappropriate relationships with younger individuals. And while the whispers about his past connections with Justin Bieber and Usher during their early careers have been making rounds in the past months, a new shocking conversation: Aaron Carter. Aaron, who allegedly first met Diddy at just 9 years old, linked to allegations that have sparked heated discussions across
going rumors. His piecing together timelines to show how certain events faded from public attention over time. The project treats silence as its own form of evidence, pushing viewers to question why key stories were delayed, who influenced the narrative, and how power was able to grow quietly, largely unchallenged. Behind the scenes. Why revisiting the rise and unraveling of child stardom, the film highlights a toxic culture that often prioritized fame over protection. It presents Aaron Carter not as a fleeting headline.
I think you've heard it all. Another layer of darkness gets peeled back. Right. With the way things are unfolding for Diddy, this might just turn into the scandal of the century.
Aaron Carter!
I just want to make everyone happy and just love and do my music. Do you honestly think that?
You know, I know who Aaron Carter is, but I don't at the same time. I forgot what it was that he actually did. But I believe he came from one of those, was it like a Disney show or something like that? police.
Finishing up a meth head and a crackhead, teaching my niece her first dance moves, making music on my bed.
Aaron Carter was once the golden boy of pop, a wildly talented child star whose meteoric rise to fame was nothing short of remarkable. 9 years old when he dropped his self-titled debut album, captivating audiences everywhere and securing his spot as one of the biggest child stars to ever grace the music industry. Carter was tipped to do great things and have a long, successful career, but as bright as his star burned, it faded just as fast. Fame at such a young age can take its toll, but there was so much more that contributed to the downfall of Aaron's career. Several insider sources have suggested that Aaron may have been a victim of manipulation and the toxic culture.
But as a powerful example of what happens when talent is pushed into the spotlight without meaningful support. And if silence is never truly neutral, the documentary leaves viewers with a deeper question: who benefited the most from allowing that silence to continue for so many years? Aaron Carter's rise began long before he had the ability to protect himself in an industry that profits from youth while often delaying accountability. The documentary places his early success alongside his growing instability to show how
How you holding up?
I'm doing good, man.
You doing good?
Yeah, staying strong. It's been 8 months of a lot of turmoil and back and forth. But at this point, I think that I've got it under control. I'm doing everything that I need to do, and just focusing on my music, which is I love. It's my passion, and really just taking care of my aftercare, and
which consists of what? The care. You're doing what you have to do.
So
what does that mean to you?
So basically, a lot of people in the news, there's hundreds of posts from media, and they all said, that I'm 165 pounds, and when I checked into rehab last time, I was 117. Same weight that Michael Jackson died at, actually. And
117 pounds.
Yeah. I got my weight up and I kept it the whole time. I've managed to turn my life around. I'd be able to purchase houses, flip houses, be a real estate mogul, do touring after all the...
So you're buying and flipping houses, huh?
Yeah.
And I see that this one is
for sale right now.
Is up for this one's up for sale.
Yeah, so Christy Olympus is she's like my big sister. But she's my real estate agent. She got me to my first house, which is only like about a mile away from here.
Yeah.
And then flipped that one from 420 to 620, got $200,000 profit. We did.
Success can look like opportunity at first, but slowly turns into dependence. It delivers a clear message. When a child's value is measured by performance, warning signs are often dismissed as pressure instead of recognized as real risk, forcing viewers to confront the moment when ambition outweighs responsibility, and the duty to protect is sacrificed for success. The film repeatedly emphasizes the idea of proximity, examining who stood closest to key decision-makers and who controlled access to opportunity, illustrating that influence is rarely accidental. Diddy appears not as a figure of judgment, but as a recurring presence woven...
The stuff that's going on with that. They look at the...
Right.
They look at the stuff, they look at this right here, bro. First and foremost, all the companies that you have, you understand, and I know some people have trust and have companies in their kid's name. This man never put anything in his name. Why? It's either his mother, his son, his kid's name and everything like that. He had 18 companies that was giving him some kind of revenue. Why is nothing really in his name? Is there some kind of tax evasion? They looking at that. You understand? You got people in the industry that's been saying for years, this man is having sex with underage. So now the federal government is looking at that like, yo, when is somebody gonna come forward? We got this information, this alleged information, but nobody's willing to come forward. Then they go on and say, yo, Shakur Stewart mysteriously dead. Supposed to be a self-inflicted wound. person that had everything going for them in their life. Kim Porter, dead. Somebody's car gets blown up. This guy is walking around threatening other actors, people. Somebody got to get involved in it. If it ain't the state, let it be the feds. Somebody got to stop him. He lucky that God given him the opportunity to be stopped while he's alive, didn't have to go to hell and face that shit. He got a chance to repent now, change his life.
You mentioned minors, and a lot of people have been trying to drag Justin Bieber into this situation because there's a lot of suspect looking videos with Diddy and Bieber in it, and they're making a lot of allegations.
Same way they made allegations
throughout stories of mentorship, social circles, and status. Rather than making direct accusations, the documentary maps connections, showing how power often flows through informal networks rather than formal agreements. If responsibility exists in the spaces between titles and roles, the film challenges institutions to confront how accountability can genuinely be tracked and enforced. One of the documentary's most sobering elements is its chronicling of Aaron Carter repeatedly and publicly reaching out for help, moments presented not as spectacle or dramatic breakdowns, but as a quiet, haunting account of fear, isolation, and the growing awareness that something was seriously wrong and that danger felt uncomfortably close. They claimed he passed from that pneumonia. The moral weight of the story.
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old because when I did MTV Cribs, the day that I had to go show off that house, my mom and my dad told me, we're getting a divorce. You still have to go do this. I had to go show off all the stuff, my whole life, that was going to be taken away from me.
The FBI is finally looking into the alleged murder of Aaron Carter. The details of Aaron Carter's murder have creepy similarities with the death of Diddy's ex-wife, Kim Porter.
Aaron Carter begged for her in front of the world.
Extends beyond one individual, as audiences watched and platforms amplified each moment, yet real intervention never came. It exposes a system where suffering could be visible to millions without prompting genuine protection. By showing distress so openly and so widely, the documentary forces a difficult question: who is truly responsible for stepping in?
From that pneumonia.
Yes.
Just like Kim, just like Brittany Murphy. That pneumonia ain't no joke. Hey, every time somebody get to telling the truth about someone, whoever's been lying, they just say a little prayer and then the pneumonia comes.
Real life. Uncle Ron, Beyonce's ex-bodyguard, who threatened to expose them. Yeah, threatened to expose them, I believe, in 2023. Is deceased. He's passed away.
Allegedly, that's what they are saying.
Allegedly, that is what they are saying. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, they said he died from that pneumonia.
Yes.
Just like Kim, just like Brittany Murphy. That pneumonia ain't no joke. Hey, every time somebody get to telling the truth about someone, whoever's been lying, they just say a little prayer and then the pneumonia come, and then a lot of people been getting that pneumonia. I'm surprised they didn't try to say that Liam.
And taking action. By widening its focus, 50 Cent's documentary links individual experiences to a broader culture that subtly normalized minors being placed in adult spaces. It shows how young performers were often guided through the same circles of influence where boundaries were assumed but rarely enforced. The film exposes a system built more on trust and expectation than on real protections, leaving vulnerability exposed in environments dominated by power. References to Justin...
But you know, he went over that balcony. But the thing is, they say he went on his own. But there's two other things that I considered as I speculate. This is all my speculation. None of this is true yet. But what if somebody told him he had to jump off?
Man.
What if he would have rather jumped and be pop-out?
Right.
You know? Or maybe imminent danger was there. And
it's
that
alleged
was
that
only escape.
Right. It's alleged that he had Tootsie.
Oh no, that's not alleged. That is a fact. There, Rook. It was found in his system in his autopsy. That's not alleged.
That's crazy.
It's a Tootsie, DK. Yep.
Jack, Liam Payne, his fall. There's a lot of alleged things they're saying that happened.
Multiple levels, his fall.
There's a lot of speculation.
Personal life.
Right.
Health.
What is his ties to Diddy?
I mean, all of those kids from that era, even the British bands, they all partied with Diddy. I'm just... It's hard for
Bieber appear not as accusations or comparisons but as context demonstrating a recurring path the industry has created for young talent, and when similar patterns show up across generations, the documentary pushes viewers to question whether it can genuinely be dismissed as mere coincidence. The documentary frames silence as a system upheld by loyalty, fear, and concern for reputation, showing how many adults around young artists probably knew enough to stay quiet while pretending ignorance. This creates shared responsibility where no one is entirely
invested in what's happening to Liam Payne right now, because I haven't gotten over what happened to Nick. Nick's brother Aaron Carter.
Right.
A lot of people keep forgetting Aaron Carter was begging for help, begging for independent financing, begging for security. He made it very clear Sony was out to get him, just like Michael Jackson told him they would be. And right around that time, his brother had just been accused of graping one of the girls from making the band, Diddy's entity. And they were trying to make all of that go away. And Aaron called his brother out. And then the next thing you know, he said, if anything happens to me, I did not do this to myself. And then he was gone, and they said he took his own life, just like they're saying about Liam Payne. Why doesn't anyone want to see the same thing happening over and over and over again? Because if Diddy is responsible for Liam Payne, then he is without a doubt responsible for Aaron Carter.
Shout out reality street stars, nigga.
Blamed, yet harm persists, pushing viewers to face a hard truth when everyone knows something but chooses to remain silent. Where does real accountability? A pivotal shift occurs when speculation is replaced by formal process as legal filings, professional review, and thorough investigation take the place of casual commentary, sharpening the tone without becoming sensational. The film emphasizes restraint over outrage.
You know what I'm saying? It's like 150 hugs.
You're a public person as well, and there was one instance in Harlem And his reaction when those people
went away.
Got in
the car and said, I feel like I need to wash, like I'm dirt. That was, it should show you his character.
Was that the reason for including it?
Yeah. I mean, what's the odds that you would do that in front of a camera? Like that's one of the moments where he forgot he was on tape.
How do you respond to people who say that it's more about the disdain that you have for Sean Combs than it is for giving the victims a platform?
What they consider a pre-existing beef, right, for 20 years, right, is me being uncomfortable with him suggesting that he takes me shopping, or I looked at it like it was like a tester. Like, maybe you'll come play with me type of thing, right? And it's not personal.
I think it's important to also let people know that the show is not completely the perspectives of people that did not like Sean. We weren't trying to just get the highlights, the salacious details, that the real goal was to storytell. And not everyone needed to have an allegation to be a part of this project.
The 4-part series also features 2 jurors from Combs' trial who are speaking for the first time about how they reached their mixed verdict, finding Combs guilty of 2 prostitution offenses, but clear of racketeering and sex trafficking charges, both sharing their thoughts on the relationship between Combs and singer Cassie. Juror 75 describing them as 2 people in love, and Juror 160 saying in part, domestic violence wasn't one of the charges. Cassie, is she a victim in all this?
I believe Cassie's a victim in all this because she came in as she's like 18, like 19 years old in the very beginning. After a while, over time, you condition for it.
The goal of what the film is trying to do is to let the audience kind of come in to ask questions like, were their decisions colored by certain things, and who got the benefit of the doubt, in that courtroom?
Do you think that hip-hop culture was on trial as much as Sean Combs was?
Look, if I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as
rage favoring careful evaluation over dramatic accusation, treating names with care and examining evidence methodically. This transition is important because it marks the divide between public suspicion and real institutional accountability, raising a key question: if truth requires structure to be taken seriously, why was that structure absent for so long? The documentary shows why so few ever spoke out, illustrating that raising one's voice carried serious consequences while remaining silent often safeguarded careers and status.
Foreseen footage of Sean Diddy Combs in the days leading up to his arrest in New York last September.
You want to put stuff in my fanny pack?
The exclusive video obtained by Netflix shows Combs debating with his lawyers about strategy.
So they're saying it's his lawyers. How on earth did 50 Cent get a hold of footage of his lawyers? Now, one could say, isn't that privilege? How is this footage allowed? Now, you could also argue because someone's filming, there's other people there, you lose privilege. I've learned that in my appeals case. I have not filmed any of my legal meetings on purpose, because if you film it, well, then it gives up your privilege in a way. So I'm assuming that's how they're getting away with this, because he's filming conversations with his lawyers, whether they knew or not. That footage, now that it's gotten in the wrong hands, or I guess different hands, isn't longer privilege. I want to get a lawyer on it to sort of confirm it, but I gotta be honest, I'm kind of shocked. You'd think, well, this should all be included, should it not?
Listen to me. I'm gonna get off the phone right now, and I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution. No matter what nobody said. Let's just here and there, y'all are not working together the right way. We're losing.
The footage is
like the way he's bossing around these high-powered lawyers is so revealing.
Part of a new highly anticipated docuseries by director Alex Stapleton and rapper and executive producer.
Look at that smile. Look at that smile. Oh, he's loving this.
Jackson, titled Sean Combs, The Reckoning. Was there anything that surprised you when you were watching?
I think it was surprising that he actually filmed it.
It was very interesting to watch a man who's known for his brand presence. He has a really amazing knack for marketing and all of that, and how he was sort of taking that into account and how he was coming off to the public.
We knew that was coming, by the way, because we learned that throughout, as he was using his own kids to post birthday messages and etc. Like, this guy wants to control everything.
The exclusive video also shows Combs in Harlem greeting fans.
He's like, oh yeah, look at all these. This was. Yeah, what's up? Want to shake hands? Yeah, I'll take this. He thrives in this. This is yeah, when people recognize him. What up? Like barely anybody there. He's like, yeah, everybody's here looking at me. He's like the quarterback that can never graduate. It feels like to me.
I need some hand sanitizer. Hold on. I got it. I've been out in the streets amongst the people. Yeah, I gotta take a bath.
I've been in the streets amongst people. I gotta take a bath. He's like horrified. He's disgusted by it.
Like the amount of people that actually I'm coming in contact with. Like that's what I have to do.
Against this backdrop, 50C positions himself as an outlier ready to face criticism and backlash, to demand scrutiny not from a place of absolute certainty but from a refusal to accept why accountability was delayed for so the point isn't courage as performance but risk as the essential basis of accountability, where speaking honestly becomes an act of exposure rather than recognition, and if telling the truth endangers the messenger, the documentary pushes a deeper question into view. What does that say about the system that is being so carefully guarded? In closing, the film intentionally avoids a tidy conclusion, refusing to deliver verdicts or simplify complex realities, instead documenting the imbalance between fame and safety, access and oversight, and
you know what I'm saying? You can sit here and tell me that you're going to pay me for my time sitting right down here with y'all. You understand? So then, you know, one thing led to another. And I was like, yo, all right, well, then, you know, F you. You know, I spoke to 50. And then she said 50. And this is exact words that came out her mouth. 50 does not determine what goes in and go out of this documentary. And he definitely don't pay. He determine what somebody get paid. It's not his documentary like that. I was like, oh, so if it's not his documentary and I spoke to him like that, I don't need to be doing nothing with you, because I'm doing this on the strength of him. But you gonna pay me if I do it. So it went back and forth, you know what I'm saying, for a little bit, and then they had Kirk Burrows giving me calls and everything like that. What are you calling me for? You know what I'm saying? I'm not. Get out of here. I know what kind of dude you is anyway. Me and you cool and everything, Kirk, but don't call me about no business with this stuff like that. And then what I found out is that he was making a deal, cutting a deal for himself as well as Tim. You understand? And I was trying to get a deal for all three of us. You understand? So that's how them industry cats go. You know, that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it like this. So then he called me back again, and I told him, like, listen, man, don't you ever call my phone again, Kirk. You know what I'm saying? Because we had got into it about somebody calling him. He told me Groovy Lou called him and wanted to know why Gene's still doing this to Puff and everything like that. And I mentioned it on the Gene Deal show. You know what I'm saying? I said something. He called me back like I was lying. And listen to me, Kirk. Don't call me about what these clowns and these niggas say right here, bro. I had nothing, and especially don't call me talking about what I gotta fix, when in fact you know what you told me and you know what our conversation was. You know what I'm saying? So the whole thing about why I'm not in the thing, the lady was talking greasy to me. She had no right to talk greasy to me. And then she told me that 50 didn't have the power to do anything, but they using his name to like push the whole documentary. And that's what it was about. So that's why you don't see a cameo other than the pictures they used of me on the film in the documentary. I got like 3 or 4 pictures in the documentary that I've seen of myself. You know, some people say they saw more, but I know three different times where I was certain places that you could actually see me in the documentary, and that's the only thing you're gonna get. But the stories that they told in the documentary, bro, come on. They could have went a whole lot deeper. They could have did a whole lot more. So I ain't in the documentary because that lady that was the director, I think, what's her name? Alex,
Calculation and verified record beyond focusing solely on Aaron Carter. 50 Cent's documentary challenges viewers to consider what was allowed to happen around him and why figures like Diddy and references to Justin Bieber appear within the same discussions of influence and authority. As the industry is finally forced to confront itself, the film leaves audiences with a final unsettling question: will it reform its structures or merely find new ways to repurpose its silence?